cover up the mess. And by covering up the mess, you create more mess. And so what he does, Joab goes back, he says, Uriah, you can go ahead, chill for a couple of days with your wife, and then you can come back to the army. So Uriah is on his way back, the chick kicking with his wife, and he says, wait a minute, hold up. All my boys are out there on the front line, and I'm going home to kick it with my wife. That's not cool. I'm going back out to the army. Now, if he'd have known what was going to happen to him, he'd have went home and kicked it with his wife. However, he's trying to do the honorable thing and go back out as a noble warrior and stay with the troops. David gets in wind of this. He said, oh man, see, now he's going to make me do something. See? Okay, here's what we're going to do. You see, it's one thing after another. He says, okay, since he don't want to go home and kick it with his wife, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have him go and put him on the front line. And when he goes in the battle, when the battle is waxing worse, then I want y'all to pull out. So now here's poor Uriah on the front line thinking, I'm fighting for the king. He runs in, banzai! And all of them like, we got you, dog, we got you. Oh, let's go. He gets killed. David's like, sweet, my problem solved. Uriah's dead, and here's how David played. He goes over, see, nobody knows David did this except his boy Joab. So he goes to Bathsheba. Hey, listen. I heard about what happened to Uriah. It's horrible. Why don't I comfort you? Come back to my kingdom. And took her back and married the woman, thinking, yes, I covered it all up. Well, what happens is God sends a prophet by the name of Nathan. Nathan shows up on the scene and he tells David a story. He says, David, there was a man who owned all of these cattle, all of these sheep. And there was a man who owned one. And the man who owned all of them wanted the guy's sheep, and that person only had one. So he took this guy's one sheep, killed the guy, and was greedy, basically. And so David gets upset. What? Hold up. You tell me who this man is, and he's going to pay with his life. And of course, Nathan says, the man I'm speaking of is you. Now, you can imagine the shock, the reality. When the prophet comes and tells you that, you already know it's sent from God. You're like, see, some of us don't even want to see prophets come around. Prophets, man, you see a prophet, you be going the other way. Especially when the prophets don't even talk unless they got a word for you. They don't even have normal conversations. You sitting down like, so how was, work yesterday? And they're just sitting there anointed all the time. When they speak, you're like, it's going to be something bad. You don't even want to hear it. So sure enough, he tells David this, and David breaks down. And then Nathan tells him this. He said, listen, God is going to have mercy and forgive you. He said, however, there's a consequence. Now understand, everything we do have consequences. Some are more worse than we expected them to be. And so sure enough, he said, okay, we'll break it down. Can you give me the good with the bad? He says, listen, the mercy is the good part, because you should have been killed for what you did. He said, the bad part is, number one, the child is going to have to die. He said, the child was conceived in sin, he's going to have to die. So David said, then he said, not only that, but the sword will never depart from your house. Now what that meant is that it will always be turmoil in his crib. So David goes on and he goes and seeks God's face every day concerning the child's life. And all of the priests and stuff, they were scared to talk to him because David stopped eating, he stopped shaving, and he wouldn't do nothing but pray. The child finally dies. They come in and tell David, David gets up, says the child dead, he said, yeah. So David goes and cleans himself up, and they ask David, they said, David, even though the prophet told you that the child would have to die, why did you continue to seek God's face like that? He said, well, who can tell whether God will have mercy or not? He said, even though God said this, he said, I'm going to bug him, because who knows, he might just have mercy on me. And that is a great attitude to have. I'm going to let you know right now, because I ain't leaving the church. I don't care how bad it gets, man. I'm just going to hang in there like, who knows? My grace and mercy might come together.
So you just said that, he looked back at me as if he was like right or something, like I was wrong. We were just having a conversation, and he was talking about how, whatever, Lonnie, we had a conversation, and he said, like, it's probably not God's will. No, he says it's not God's will for anybody to be sick. And I was just like, well, you don't know if it's God's will for them to be healed, like, or whatever. Like, but he said you shouldn't stop seeking God's face about it. You still go and believe it. Did I just say I agree with him? I said I agree that you should keep on going with faith,
Right.
He was saying that my little doubt, I was talking like I had doubt. And I was like, I don't have doubt, but, I trust that whatever God's will, he's going to let it be done.
Right.
So when you said that you should still keep, whatever, baby.
I done struck a nerve. Right? I'm in the middle of an argument now. Like, how about this? You're both right. Actually, no, that is the attitude of a saint. A saint is to say, you know what, Lord? Even though it looks bleak, and it looks doomy, I'm going to still seek your face concerning this issue until there's nothing else to seek. Trust me, if I'm dying of cancer, I ain't going to just accept it. I mean, unless, you know, I'm on that last blood. Then I'm like, it's probably over. But as long as I can get a couple of these in, I'm like, have mercy on me, Lord. Just heal the miraculous heal. I can be down to 100 pounds. But I'm like, in any second, my change is going to come. The weight's coming back. You know, so you just keep praying and see what the Lord says. However, in this case, the Lord did not reverse the situation. The child died. David had to deal with that. And then, when you think it was bad, it gets worse. As he has more children, of course Solomon came out this, he has more children, and sure enough, the sword never departed from his family. In fact, what happened is, his son rapes his daughter. After he does that, the older brother gets mad, kills his brother for doing it, then turns on David, chases him out of the kingdom, all across the nation, and then he has to go back to the same guy that he had do all his dirt. And see, this is the problem. When you create an animal like that, they're uncontrollable. When you get a dog that's seeing on everybody else, it's a matter of time before they turn to go at you. And now, Joab is a problem. Joab knew too much of David's business. He couldn't handle Joab no more. He couldn't say, Joab, get yourself together. He's like, who are you talking to? You know how much crap I've cleaned up? I would tell that for everybody. You can't have everybody in your mix. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. If you break up friendships, you'll see who your real friends are. Right. And they'll be like, well, you know what? Remember you had told me. I'm going to tell them. So now, all of a sudden, Joab's a problem. He tells Joab, Joab, my son Absalom is crazy. He done chased me out the kingdom. What I need you to do is I need you to go get him. Don't kill him, no. Just bring him back here. Joab goes to get Absalom. Absalom gets caught in a tree with his hair. Joab gets off the horse. Yeah, I know what your daddy told me to do, but. And he kills Absalom. David revisits this all and says it all points back to one choice. Now understand, certain things you can get into will only take 2 or 3 seconds to get into it, and a lifetime to get out of it. 2 or 3 seconds, all in one choice. 1 second there, David said, I'm going to. That decision right there made him write this Psalms right here. And so, let's dive into it. Psalm 51. Look how David starts off and touches the heart of God. First thing he starts off with, and he says, have mercy upon me, O God, according to what? Thy loving kindness. Now understand this. I love this because what he does